Welcome to Rose Opal Knits, our knitting and other craft podcast.
I'm Daphne.
And I'm Erica.
And this is episode 27. I forgot I say that.
And she's my daughter-in-law, and I'm her mother-in-law. So, hey, welcome back to all our returning viewers. And if today's your first time, we're so happy you're here. We hope you stick around and you like what you see. We will have notes in the description box below, but if any information isn't in the description box and you want to contact us about anything we talk about today, you can email us or just leave a comment below. But we're going to go ahead and, so we picked our subscriber winner from episode 26, and that will be announced at the end. So stick around for the announcement of the winner. But we're going to jump into the knitting, crafting stuff right away. And we're going to start with, I forgot I'm wearing something. We're going to start with what I'm wearing, which I don't remember what it's called. But I will put it on the screen. But I believe the designer's name was Karin Fernandes. I think that's right. If it's not, it'll be on the screen. And I knit it out of, what's that yarn I like from the yarn store? I forget what it's called. I'll put that on the screen too. So, anyway, but I knit this a couple years ago. So now we're going to go into finished objects and...
Do you have any?
I don't have any.
Okay.
So you do. So you go ahead and you take over.
So I finally finished my, what is it called? Magic Heel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Magic Heel socks by the Autumn Acorn.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know.
Jewel is her name.
I didn't know if she went by
I think
Autumn
she goes by
Acorn
both.
or
Yeah.
not. But anyways, so I had this one done. No, this one done. And I was there on this one. And all I did with this pattern is the front of it has a garter ridges on them. You can kind of see it in the gray a little bit better. And these are for my mom, actually. They were supposed to be part of her Christmas present. But I kind of lost sock knitting mojo, so I didn't knit them. But anyway, so they're done now. And the colorful yarn is actually leftover yarn that is Dream Smooshy with Cashmere in the December 2018 pop-up colorway. Mm-hmm. And then the gray is Knit Pick Stroll Fingering, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In the Dove Heather?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was her scraps because I was running out. And the toes are not the same length in gray. So.
Oh, I see. Because you ran out of that.
I ran out of the Dream Smooshy yarn, so. But it's okay.
That's okay.
Like,
it's not a big deal.
I wish I didn't, but
yeah.
I don't. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But I wanted them to be even. I mean, they're not like too far.
I mean,
off.
it's close. I mean,
yeah.
For you, because you estimated.
It's okay.
Right?
It's because this one, the fade, is shorter than this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the problem. I started running out. I was like, oh no. So they're done. They're not completely even, but they're done. So, and I messed up both my Kitchener stitches.
You messed up both?
Yes! Remember? Because this one looks all wonky. It won't even lay flat.
Yeah.
And then this one I messed up right there. Right at the beginning, and there's a little hole.
Well,
but you can't really see it. So I have 2 little holes in my Kitchener stitch. And I don't know how, but it's okay. And then I also finished my Magnolia. Both sleeves are done. And all the ends are woven in. Mm-hmm. But I only had 6 ends because I did the Russian join.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy. But I also could spit splice the mohair, which I didn't think you could do.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't remember who the pattern's by.
Here, I'll hold
it's
it
called
so you
the
can
Magnolia sweater. And I was only on the second increase row up here last podcast. And I only made 1 modification, actually. They said to only knit like 1 row, maybe 2 rows after you separate the sleeves. And I knew I wasn't going to want that. I wanted it longer. So I
think mean before you started the lace?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I knit like 6 rows altogether, maybe 8. But that's it. Like, that's the only modification I made. And then, so it's got this lace pattern. It's called the Magnolia flower, I think is what it is. So it's got little baubles in it, too. And you can't really see the baubles. But they're up here. They're like right there in each of the little flowers. And then it's a twisted rib bottom. And then the yarn I used is Plymouth Yarn Company Encore Tweed. And this color is just a number. It's T212. And then Rowan Kidsilk Haze, which is the mohair that's held with it. And it's also just a number for the color.
It's very soft and light.
00589 is what I used. And the pattern calls for DK held with 2 or 3 strands of mohair. I just held worsted weight with 1. And I had to go up a needle size to get gauge. But that's it. I didn't really change much to the pattern actually this time, for once. Yep. And it is a very oversized sweater, so.
Yeah, because you knit the...
I knit the second size.
And it fits me.
Yeah.
So I tried it on, and it fits me. Of course, it fits me a lot more snug. I mean, you know, it fits me more than it fits Daphne. It's big on baggy on Daphne, and it fits me. But I could wear it in public and not feel like self-conscious.
I mean, it fits you just like the one you're wearing, but the sleeves have like the balloon effect to it because you have to have the same amount of stitches for the lace pattern, then you do a decrease row, but you decrease like every other stitch, and you decrease like 3 stitches at once.
That's like called a rapid decrease.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you the balloon effect. But it's supposed to be an oversized pattern anyways, so it's really
it fits Daphne the way it's supposed to fit.
I really like it.
Yeah.
And I made this, okay, so I knit it, and then I looked at the sleeves, and they were right at my wrist, and I like my sleeves to be like over my hands, and I was like, oh no. So then I was like, I am going to steam block it, because the Encore Tweed has acrylic in it.
It's a blend.
I steam blocked it. And I wore it yesterday to dinner. So, but yeah.
And she didn't get any food or baby spit up on it.
I took care of Mason.
She didn't wear the Progress Keeper.
I took it off, but I knew where it was. But no, I took care of Mason yesterday, so it was easier because Paisley was pretty much asleep in her car seat anyways.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So.
He's not as messy as Paisley.
Well,
he can be, but
he can be.
Yeah.
He likes to scream in restaurants. So.
Oh no.
But it was funny because, okay, so the way I take care of it is you just put your hand in their mouth, like the side of your hand a little bit.
And it stops them.
He just stopped. And there's like 2 tables sitting right there, and they saw me do it. And they both started cracking up. And I was like, he stopped. So.
Cut that out, man.
Well, one time he had his passy in his mouth, too. So I took the passy out and stuck my other hand in his mouth.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
It was great, though.
So is that it? Is
yeah,
that
those are my finished objects.
Okay, cool.
So, oh, wait, hold on. This took 14 days to fully finish it, like steam block it and weave in the ends.
Yeah.
So 14 days because I casted it on the 1st.
Yeah, if you'll remember last episode, she was like, "I'm gonna have this finished by the next episode." Then she went, "I don't
count on it."
Yeah, don't count on it. And I was thinking she's gonna have it.
I wanted to, but then I was like, let's
well, you
not
never
say
know
that,
with small children if you're gonna have the time to knit
Let's
and stuff.
not say that. So.
All right, so I'll start with whips because I have more.
1.
Yeah, I have 3. So, I worked. See, I could have had a finished object if I hadn't worked on 3 whips, but you know, I like variety. So this is in my. What is it? You Got a Bag by Tish P.
It's EWE.
Yes.
Got a Bag. It's on Etsy.
And these are my magic heel socks that I'm knitting for my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, Mary Rose. And I'm close to the toe. So I could have had them finished, but I just didn't. And this is where I was the last time. Ooh, strings everywhere. This is where I was the last time I showed them. So I have made a lot of progress. And then, you know, the heel, the magic heel is back here. So I am knitting these on Hiya Sharps US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter needle, knitting them 2 at a time. And the yarn is Regia Kids Perfect. So I'll just show you that real quick. Yep. So these should be definitely a finished object by next episode. And I'll show one more.
That's fine.
Okay. I also worked on my, I always forget the name of this cardigan.
Seaside, right?
Maybe. It's something about the seaside or the shoreline.
I think it's seaside.
It's not here. And the designer is Marie Green, and it's in her book, Sweaters in 2 Weeks, or something like that.
Hey,
I've talked about it before.
Magnolia sweater in there.
But she's not a designer
I know.
of that. She designed all the sweaters in that book. So, this is in my Fat Girl Sewing Black Cat bag. And I am using Patton's Classic Wool. Let me pull one of these out with a ball band. Patton's Classic Wool Worsted in the black tweed colorway. And I am knitting it on US 7s, which is a 4.5 millimeter needle. And I've split for the sleeves. So, can't really see that, but anyway, I've split for the sleeves. Where that snowman is, that's where I was the last time I showed the sweater. So I've made it down the back some, and there's a decorative like waistband, although it's a bit higher. It's like an empire waist, you know, it's not down low. And then there's this interesting thing you do here, because on the back of the sweater there's going to be a pleat. So you have to bind off a couple stitches and then cast on some more stitches, and then at the end you've got to, you know, seam it together in a certain way to make the pleat. But now it'll just be, you know, knitting and purling back and forth until the bottom band. So I think my plan for this is I'm going to finish this ball and then move on to the sleeves, and then knit the sleeves as long as I want, and then finish the body with what I have left. So there's that.
Okay. My only other thing is actually crocheting. And it is on my Make 9. Ooh. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. I forgot. I was in the middle of doing it. Anyways, so I'm using Lions brand Mandala. I guess that's how you'd say it. It's in the Warlock color.
Mm-hmm.
I have like...
What's going on here?
I'm losing my stuff.
Oh.
No, because I have this attached over here, and then I have one sitting over here waiting to be attached too.
Oh, okay.
Because I had to rip this one out, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyways, so it is the
Scrappy Hexy blanket by Noble Character.
Yes.
Amy Noble Character.
I think she uses fingering weight.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you could just use a hook, whatever hook size the yarn calls for, which is what I did. But I actually went down one size, so I'm using a 4.5 millimeter, and it calls for a 5 millimeter for this yarn. Yeah, the yarn. But anyway, so I wanted it to be a little bit tighter. So, but anyway, so this is how far I am. So, and you can see all the ends that I gotta do. But anyway, so you just make each little one, and then she also shows you how to stitch it up. So,
yeah, she has a tutorial on her.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go ahead and link it below in the description box so you can
get there easy. It is so easy to follow it though, honestly, because I mean, like, I'm not a very good crocheter.
You're better than I am.
I'm very intermediate. Okay, so but anyways,
very beginner. You're very beginner.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, so, you're not intermediate.
Yeah,
yet.
that's what I meant. Whatever. But anyways, so I'm just doing it based on the pattern and then sewing it up. And then just going with
you're
it.
Not, you're not managing the colors at all. No, you're just crocheting the colors up as they come.
That one's got a little bit gray. That one's got a yellow circle and then tan. Oh.
I think it'll be neat. It'll be like color blocks, kind of.
But I sewed this one up wrong, and I ended up with 7 corners. Wait. Yeah, 7 corners instead of 6, so I had to rip it out and redo it. So that's why it's there.
I can't wait
to
see these colors.
I know, it's like super neutral right now. And I have 4 balls of this, so it's just going to be as big as it makes it.
It's super neutral. These are like your color palette. Ooh. Like, this is all you.
Well, I mean, I really like the yarn. I've had the yarn for like ever, I feel like.
She has caramels at the bottom.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I got caramels and my snips in here. That's all. I have like 3 caramels and my hook and then my yarn. Then my things that came with my embroidery. So caramels. I had to hide them. I wanted some, but Mason was standing next
share.
to me because like Mason's not even 2 yet, so I was like, no, you can't have caramel. I mean, if it was like a hard caramel, that would be different. No, there's a soft, like super.
Oh yeah, they
caramels,
slide down. They can slide down your throat real easily. Okay, so I have this in my bag that I bought from Amazon. You've seen it before, and this is a Simple Hug Cardi by Cozy Up Knits, Cozy Up Designs, Cozy Up Knits.
I think they just go by Cozy Up Knits.
Yeah. It's for my 4-year-old daughter. So I've sized down. Well, let me just show you what I've done so far. So I've done the bottom ribbing and 2 stripes so far. And I am knitting them on my, here I'm moving my glasses again so I can read. Chalgu US 9, 5.5 millimeter. And what I did was I just pulled scraps. I think I had 1 full ball, and then the rest were scraps of different acrylics that I had laying around. So let me go through them real quick. I know this is a Vanna's Choice because I just knit doll hats out of that. This is a Simply Soft. That's what this is. I forget what brand makes Simply Soft. This is Lion's Brand's Wool Ease, which is an acrylic wool blend.
I have that yarn too.
Mm-hmm.
I have not knit that thing in a while though.
And this is more Lion's Brand Wool Ease, acrylic wool blend.
Don't forget the tweed.
Oh, I know, but I think I have the ball band for that. That's why I was waiting to see. Okay, so this is the ball band for this one. This is Universal Yarns Uptown Worsted. And it just has, oh no, it's the color linen. And let me see if I have the ball band for the speckled spotty one. No, I don't see it. This is a Sirdar. I think that's Sirdar, and like the Raindrops, I think is what it's called, colorway. But this is a multicolored Raindrops colorway. But so if I can find the information for all those, I'll definitely put them in the description box down below. But anyway, so that's a lot of fun. I haven't, worked a lot on that, but I got it cast on because we both made our make 9s.
I made 2.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about that real quick. You want to talk about that real quick? Your 2 make 9s? Because
sure.
I can pop in pictures of them. Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't know all the I can't remember all the patterns.
You don't have to go over the patterns, but just tell them what you did. You made a personal make 9?
Yeah, I made, it's not even personal because Chris's cardigan's on there.
Oh, okay.
So I made one with like bigger items and like garments. So all the sweaters that I want to do are on there. And then the Hexy Scrappy blanket. Because, I mean, I only have 4 balls of it, so I don't think it's going to take that long to do it. Mm-hmm. But then I already finished 1 sweater. Mm-hmm. So then, I mean, like, I already had, the only one I already had started was the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May. But I also bought yarn to knit a DK weight version of it, too. Mm-hmm. So I felt like it was okay to put that on there. But the rest of them, there's 2 cardigans. And then the rest of them are like full sweaters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll pop a picture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 1 blanket. But then the other one is all socks. Because I have so much sock yarn that I could use.
Plus you have the book too.
Yeah, I have the book that I bought for my birthday. I haven't even used it yet. Because I didn't really want to knit socks.
It was like you bought the book and then your
sock
knitting mojo
socks.
left.
Like what?
Yeah.
Oh, I finally convinced Holden to try on his sock that I started
now he
him.
wants it, right?
And then he was like, "Oh, this actually doesn't feel that bad."
Yeah. I know.
And he's like, "I don't like to wear socks because they make my feet hot." And then I was talking about the yarn hoarder and how she was talking about how her son or her husband. Someone has sweaty feet.
Her son has sweat. She said.
Yeah.
So Amber, the yarn hoarder, just had a new podcast after like almost a year.
It was 9 months.
Yeah, that's what it was, 9 months. And anyway, yeah, and that one, I think she said her son, he wears hand knit wool socks all year long because he does have sweaty feet, but not when he wears the wool socks.
Yeah. So I was like, can you at least try it on? Because last night I was like looking in my bags and like trying to find stuff and like, because I was missing a pair of scissors. Couldn't find them. They were in my sloth bag.
Oh.
The bag that was holding the socks that I made. That's what they were in. But anyway, so finally got him to let me make him socks.
That's good.
But so I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with all my sock yarn. So I'm making a sock head hat for Holden, but I didn't put that on the Make 9 because I just decided that last night.
You can make a third Make 9. So I have. So you have a one with like
bigger items and then
a sock one. So I have a personal Make 9 with sweaters, and I think there's mittens. There's several different things. A couple of cows, maybe. No, one shawl, one cow, one pair of mittens, and I think 6 like sweaters, cardigans, and pullover. And then I made a gift Make 9, which is one Amy Noble Character Crafts. She did that last year, and so I was inspired. I knew I had a couple gifts coming up, and then I went through and realized I did have 9 gifts to make, or 9 items to gift to other people. So I made that, and then I actually have a Finish It 9. So I ended up having 9 projects from 2020 to bring over into 2021. So I have 3 boards, but
who knows? By the end of the summer, I might make another one.
Yeah, you can totally do that. And like, I'm really excited. I feel last year with my Make 9, I feel like I just put things that I would like to knit on it without actually giving it a lot of thought. Like, will I really wear it? Do I really want it, or do I just like the knit product? So this year, I gave it a lot of thought. Made a Make 9. Took some things off, made another one, took some things off, finally settled. I'm so excited about it. So yeah, we've got those. And there will probably have been pictures popping in and out while we're talking about it.
I'm super excited about my like bigger one. Because I mean, like, I know my cousin Chris wants the sweater. And then I want this cardigan. But it, like, I was searching for a cardigan because I have the 2 Willow Tree yarns and then the Allison Pip.
Yes.
3 50-gram balls of those, and I want to stripe the cardigan. It's okay. So if you really want to know which cardigan it is, it's the top middle one.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. I know where that one is because I really want it. But so that pattern, I'm gonna make the longer version and stripe it, and just use up all that yarn. So
that'll be fun.
I am so excited about that. But it's fingering weight, and I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, they do take longer, the fingering sweaters.
Well, I mean, I still have the bright feather on the needles too, so I'm like, gotta do that.
Yeah. Did you purchase anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I did.
Hey, that's another goal for this year. Well, okay, 2 goals for this year. We're learning brioche because that's the shawl pattern. And then knitting from stash, pretty much. So I'm not really going to buy much anymore.
Okay.
So
well, that'll be fun.
Those are my 2 goals outside of the Make 9.
So I purchased a couple things. I actually purchased 2 things. So I showed this yarn off. It's the Mandala, Lion Brand Mandala yarn, and I said I was going to crochet a granny square blanket out of it. See? And then while I was making my Make 9, I came across this cardigan pattern, and it's free, and it's for like bulky weight yarn, and over the break, I like reorganized my closet, and I got rid of a bunch of clothes, and like almost all of my house cardigans had holes in them. So I'm on a mission to hand knit like fun, bright colors, cardigans, like just wearable cardigans for around the house, but something that like I won't be like, oh no, I spilled coffee all over myself, because sometimes that happens. Anyway.
Oh yeah, if I spilled coffee on my sweater, my goodness, I think I would cry.
But so I was like, oh, that yarn I've got from my granny square blanket, like that would be fun for a cardigan. So I'm gonna hold 2 strands of this bright colored yarn.
Hold on, this one is a DK weight, just so you guys know.
Yeah. So 2 strands of that bright color yarn with a strand of this Lion's Brand Pound of Love in black, and I think that'll make it chunky enough.
Yeah,
for
this
the
one's the
pattern.
worsted. So.
And so that's fun. I just got that in the mail. And then I saw, so if you guys remember my Sunset Highway, one of the yarn brands that I used in it was Queen City Yarn. And I follow them on Instagram, and I saw that they were having like, I don't know if it was an end of the year sale or a New Year's sale, but they said they were having like a sale in their outlet shop on Etsy. So I went and checked it out, and I saw this 50 gram Not a Sock base. It's called Doodle that they had. And so I was like, oh, I love those colors. And so I ordered it. But when it arrived, they're so sweet. When it arrived, they sent a prize for you guys. So like a giveaway. So there was hair on it. But let me see.
I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, tell them what it is.
It is on the Plaza Midwood Bulky, which is 100% superwash merino. It's 106 yarns, and it's a one of a kind, so you can't actually like find this. But it's got like the minty greens, and then it's like peaches, and then it's like brighter. And then this is like purplish to me. It's like a grayish purplish color down here.
No, maybe like a lilac or lavender. But yeah, it's really pretty. So we're gonna hold on to this and keep it as another giveaway. I don't know. So we're at like 351 subscribers, so maybe we'll have, like, we haven't discussed this. I'm just throwing this out there, but maybe for like a 500 subscriber giveaway or something. Yeah. That might be fun. But
unless we think of something else before then.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like, it just depends.
Yeah. And but that's it. That's all that arrived in the mail. And now it's time for the anniversary, potiversary, whatever you want to call it, subscriber giveaway that we had. So we are going to send this lovely skein of, it's beautiful, skein of Willow Tree yarn to the lucky winner, and I'm going to pop your name on the screen right now. So yay, you're the winner of this skein of yarn. We used a YouTube random comment generator, and they picked you, so congratulations. And if you'll just contact us via our email, which is in the description box, we will send that out to you as soon as we get a chance.
Okay, so I'm just going to show the yarn. It's Willow Tree yarn. And it's in the lollipop colorway. Mm-hmm. It's classy 80-20 blend. Mm-hmm. And it's 100 grams, so 400 yards. Mm-hmm. And then it has that little stitch marker on it too.
So congratulations. And we loved all your comments. They were fun to read through. We didn't comment back just because of the whole nature of the giveaway. But Daphne took some notes, and so we're going to go ahead and quickly answer, a few of those.
Oh, so we do have all the suggestions for what we should do.
Some of you left suggestions, and some of them sounded fun. But we're going to figure out how we can
we're not going to go over all those.
Incorporate those into this year.
Okay. Did you want to do all the questions or just some of them?
Well, we'll see how much time.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes.
I don't know who asked what question, though, either. I just wrote them all down. But anyway, so the first question was, how and when did we start knitting?
Okay. You want me to go first?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I started knitting in 2011. I know that because I used to be a mommy blogger. And don't go looking for it. It's gone. But I used to blog just about homeschool stuff and faith life, crafting, things that we did around the house. And I followed a blog called Small Things by Jenny. I forget what her last name is, but it's Jenny. And she used to do the yarn along. I don't know if it was weekly. I think it started out weekly, and then she eventually made it monthly. But and it was one of my favorite posts to look at these things that beautiful items that people were knitting, and then it was yarn along because you talked about a book and you talked about a knitting project or a crochet project. So I just decided that I was going to teach myself how to knit, and so I did in 2011. So that's how long I've been knitting. So actually my 10-year anniversary is probably in February. Yeah. So when did you start knitting?
3 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
It's before Mason. I think I was pregnant with Mason.
So no, it was before you were pregnant with Mason.
You're right. It was the... Was it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was after I was out of high school, though, right? Or no?
I don't think so.
I think so. I don't know.
I don't think so.
3, maybe 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like
no,
that.
I don't
Okay.
think you were, because I remember...
I came over here.
I remember you came over for the first time by yourself. Like, you would visit with Holden.
Yeah.
But it was the first time you
But
came
that was
over.
after I could drive, which was... I didn't really start driving until after high school. The fall after high school. But that's when we got married, too. That doesn't make sense.
No, it was before you were it was before you and Holden were engaged. It was before. Yeah.
So like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Then. So I guess okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently I don't know, okay?
And so,
it's just
you
kind of-
didn't knit a lot.
No.
You started knitting. She started knitting on a pair of socks, and she kind of put them off to the side, right?
Those are that blue pair of socks that I showed like one time, I think.
And then you knit a pair of socks for Paisley.
Paisley to match.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first knitting project ever. So.
But then you knit
I don't really.
a cardigan that you ripped out.
Oh yeah, I was gonna show it, but I never showed it because I was like, nope, I'm ripping it out. It was like a color block, bulky weight cardigan, and like, I don't know, I messed up the sleeves, and the sleeves were way too long. So I had the yarn downstairs, all ripped out. It's a yellow Lions brand and a brown Lions brand. Don't know what they are, but I have them, and I'm gonna do something with them. Just don't know what. But, I mean...
Yeah, so... And then you knit a baby sweater that didn't end up fitting Mason. And so several of your first projects were you weren't real excited about. But then you got totally excited.
But I mean, like, I wanted to learn how to when I was, like, 16. But I never really knew how to. But then she was talking about knitting, and I was like, I gotta learn how to do this. So, it was really just because she said something. But, I mean, I just used YouTube, really, to teach myself. But then the next question was... Why do you knit process or product? So
I can answer that.
It's kind of both for me, honestly, because I mean, like, I like the process, but then also sometimes I was like, I need this. So like the Magnolia, I was like, I need this, so I just knit it, you know. So, but like, I also enjoy the process. So like, sometimes I like when projects take forever, but other times I was like, no, it needs to go, be done. I want to wear it.
So I consider myself a PP knitter, a process and product knitter. Like, I have never started a project that I wasn't excited about the end product, whether it was for myself or for someone else. If I didn't like what I was knitting, I wasn't going to knit it. You know, if I didn't like the look of it, I wasn't going to start the project. If somebody said, like my friend, she wants me to knit her pumpkins, and I
would love to.
Okay, well, she can talk to you about it, because right now I have no desire to knit pumpkins. And so so I tell her all the time, like, no. But I knit her socks because, you know, that's fine. I don't have a problem knitting socks. So I am a product knitter because I want the finished product, or I want to gift that finished product. But I love the process of knitting, and I love learning new things in knitting. However, more than process or product knitter, I consider myself a mood knitter. So there have been times through the years where I just haven't been in the mood to knit, and I don't knit a lot. Like, I work on one project for like 6 months, and so I'm spending my free time, you know, doing other crafts or reading books or other things, you know, gardening outside, something. But that's also why I have a lot of projects on the needles as well, because I like to be able to, I'm not going to push through a product just to get to the end, unless I'm close to the end, then I might. But if I wake up one morning and I decide that I want to, I was working on socks yesterday, but I don't feel like working on the socks today, well, then I like to have other projects to pick from. And if I don't have another project that sounds exciting, I'll cast something on. So yeah, I consider myself a mood. It all depends on my mood.
Okay, two of the easier questions we have. One was, do we live together? Yes, we do.
We are a multi-generational household. We did discuss that in an earlier episode. And
it was like random. I think it's at the end of one.
Yeah, I think it might be at the end of one. I'll check while I'm editing, and if I find it, I'll put it across the screen here, if you want to go back and watch that. But yes, we live in a multi-generational household. The house has 3 levels, a basement, a full basement. not a fully finished basement, but a full basement, and then the main level. Yeah, it's getting there. Then the main level, and then the second story. And so Holden and Daphne have rooms.
We have
basement.
one completely finished room, and then one just about finished room, but it's finished enough that it is safe.
It's usable. Mm-hmm.
It's completely usable. It's safe
their
for
family
kids.
room. Mm-hmm.
And then our bathroom's halfway done.
Halfway finished. The bathroom's not finished yet, unfortunately.
But
and then there's space for them to have their own washer and dryer. They do have their own refrigerator, freezer down there, although right now I have overflow in their refrigerator because they don't need all the space.
We don't use that much. I don't buy that much cold stuff because then I feel like I gotta use it and then I don't use it and then it goes bad. So I like frozen stuff or like stuff that goes on the shelf. Okay, so
but the house is not gigantic. I just lost my thing. I just dropped it. It's okay.
It's right there. Buy your bag.
Where?
Buy your bag.
Oh, I see it. I can't reach it right now. Anyway, yeah, the house is big enough that the house isn't huge, but the house is big enough that we don't feel like everyone's on top of each other all the time. Yeah. So that's nice.
There's plenty of room.
Mm-hmm. But so another question?
The other easy one is, do we make goals at the beginning of the year? We already talked about
we talked about our goals. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. But it's like I really only started doing it last year. But I didn't even start doing it until like the fall. So, but I didn't know that was like a thing. So, but yes, we do. And then we only have 2 more questions actually.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is, do we only knit for knitworthy people?
Absolutely.
I don't. I will knit for other people, but if I knit for someone that I don't know if they're actually like knitworthy, like okay.
Well, I ask a series of questions. Like, you need to pass my questions.
I don't. Like, I mean, I don't mind knitting something that's made out of acrylic or something like that. But I mean, like, I gifted both my aunt and my uncle a pair of socks when we went to Alabama to be with them. Didn't know if they were gonna actually want them or anything. I just did it. I found out their shoe size and just did it.
Okay, now I will just hand out knitted dishcloths. I don't know if those people appreciate them or not. I don't mind doing that. But if you want something more than a knitted dishcloth, yeah. I got to know the answers to my questions.
So like I won't use like a hand-dyed yarn for someone, really. But I mean, like,
unless they are knitworthy.
Yes, if I know they're gonna appreciate it and actually use the item and take care of it and not ruin it after I give it to them, yes, I will. But most of the time, if they're not really like knitworthy, I use acrylics. But I'll still knit people's stuff. So
the reason why I have I'm so yes, absolutely have to be knitworthy is because in the past when I first started knitting, I did knit gifts for different people in my circle, and several of them were not well received, and so there was a time period where I said I was never going to knit for anyone else ever again, unless it was dishcloths. I always knit those and hand those out. But now that I've come along this journey a little bit further, and I have found knitworthy people, and I knit for them, it's easier to say, okay, well, I'm going to knit for more people. But so that's my story.
I mean, I'm not going to use everything I knit. So it's like, I mean, I also made 2 baby blankets for my cousin and Heather.
Yeah, but they probably use those. Yeah, they probably use those.
I didn't know if they were going to want it, so I used acrylic yarns, So it's like, you can still knit for people and not spend that much money.
Well, it's not even about the money. It's about the complaints. If you hand someone a hand-knitted gift and they sit there and pick it apart and complain about it, you don't want to do that again.
Everybody just kind of is like,
that's good. You knit for nice people then.
So, okay, I did get one complaint. It was from my brother, but I asked him his opinion on it.
That's different.
I knit him a pair of socks, and they didn't fit him right. And I wanted to know that, actually. I asked him. I was like, I don't care if you didn't like them. I just want to know.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
That's the only complaint I got. But I kind of asked for it, But the last question is, when we alter a pattern, basically, do we use magic calculations, I think was the wording of it, or do we just wing it? I just wing it. You can use calculations. Because, I mean, you can get a gauge swatch.
Most of the time I use calculations. She wings it, and it's worked out for her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, so, like, the Alaskan, completely winged.
Mm-hmm. But then again, there is still that basic knitting knowledge there. It was an adult size pattern written for worsted weight yarn, right?
It was a DK weight pattern, and I just cut the yarn in half and did that.
Yes, so she used fingering weight with smaller needles, and then just hoped it would be a size close to Mason, and it's perfect.
Yeah, and then like same with the Weekender. I just cut the size I made. You
actually used the called for size yarn for that one and cut the numbers in half.
Yes, I literally cut the number of my sweater in half and just made it like that and hoped it was going to fit. And if not, it was going to a baby doll. Yeah.
So, like, for example, with this simple hug cardi that I'm knitting for my 4-year-old daughter, I have the pattern because I've knit the cardi for myself once and I have plans to knit more. So I just looked at the schematics of the size of the sweater, and if you with most sweaters you can do this. Now if it has a colorwork pattern or a lace pattern, it might be a little bit more difficult to do. But what I did was I looked at each of the sizes and I saw the difference in stitch counts between those. I looked at the measurements of the schematics, and so I took my daughter's measurements and I subtracted the amount of stitches to go down sizes according to her measurements, and it looks like it's gonna be a little oversized, which is exactly what I wanted it to be, and I think it's gonna work out. And what did I do? In early 2020, I knit a baby dress from the Tin Can Knits flax pattern. So I just took that pattern and I knit the top of the pattern in the baby size. They had baby sizes, but I turned it into a dress just by increasing like the stitches here and then making like a blouse out bottom. You can do stuff like that. That's not difficult, but you do need to do some math when you do that. But I feel like
most people do the calculations, and you can.
I don't know. I feel like most people wing it.
I just like
depends.
I will literally look at my yarn and be like, I'm gonna do it, and then if it's not turning out right, I'll rip it out.
Yeah, and it's knitting, and you can just rip it out and reknit it, and it really just depends on your personality. If you don't mind ripping out knitting, then go ahead and wing it. But if you don't want to reknit, and you want, say you're knitting something for yourself and you want it to fit right, then take the extra time to do the math and the calculations and the gauge swatches, because then in the end you'll have a very good idea of what size your project will end up being. It's not perfect. You can knit a gauge swatch, and then when you sit down to knit the sweater, your gauge could be different. So it's not perfect, but it's good. It's a good idea of what you're doing. And always try your stuff on. If you can. If you're sending it across the country, you're not going to be able to try it on.
But... I know, with Chris's sweater, I can't ask him to try it on.
Mm-hmm. But is that the last question?
Yeah, that was it.
All right.
I mean, okay, there was one more. It was how do we knit our socks? But that's a little too in-depth for this section, so we'll probably answer that at a different time.
Yeah, at a different time, or we might do like a little sock extra where we talk about how we knit our socks. And a lot of that has to do with how we knit.
Yeah.
Because we're both somewhat tight knitters. We both knit English, so like that, you have to take that into consideration and everything too. But anyway, so we appreciate all your comments and all your questions.
If we missed a question... Ask it again.
Yeah, ask it again.
We'll answer it next time.
Yeah, we didn't get any weird questions that we felt uncomfortable answering, so you guys did great. But anyway, we hope you have a good 2 weeks, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you again 2 Mondays from now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Bye.